Welcome, parents, to this win-win series, which is curated by our Exceed for Life. Today, we will be chatting as to why our children get dysregulated. Yesterday, we spoke about self-regulation. Hope you watched that video. So stay tuned. Why does dysregulation occur? And what is dysregulation? There are important things to know and understand, because with this information, we can help ourselves and our children to become more regulated. The most frequent mistakes we see is that we may not interfere and support a child until they're emotionally flooded. This means that it takes much longer to help a child regulate because their brain and body have not been flooded with chemicals and hormones that may make it very challenging to regulate. So what if we support them before they are flooded? Do you know what the states are before our child is flooded and emotionally charged up? For example, if you see a child that is moving excessively or rocking or swaying, perhaps encourage him to move a little more at that time instead of sitting still. Or even better, direct them to your regulation station and have them work to regulate their own bodies and recognize the signs that they need support. If you see a child sitting alone and away from others, go sit with them and help them to regulate themselves as well. But how we will help our child? How do we help our child if we ourselves do not know the means to regulate our own emotions? How can we reach out and help others when we ourselves fail to see that we are dysregulated in our emotions and feelings and behaviors? So we need to first work on ourselves and help our dysregulated child. Dysregulation is a spectrum, and it's much more than a simple meltdown or tantrum. Be a detective and look for clues along the way so regulation can become more a part of what you do each and every day. Okay. So how do we identify these states in our children? The first state is an hypo-alert state where the child is not engaged in any activity. He pulls away from others, sits by himself. There's no movements are very slow. He just sits and ponders in a crouched position. He is not very expressive. There is no eye-to-eye contact. He clings on to either a doll or something or a toy he likes and sits quietly. Either he is thinking or he's in a drowsy state. Have we ever reached out to our children who are hypo-alert in their behaviors or in their body cues? Next is a child who's in hyper-alert stage where he's stressed out, he's anxious, he's screaming, he's aggressive, he's fighting with other kids, he's pulling the toys from somebody else. He's hyper-aware of his surroundings. He's triggered with some light, he's triggered with some sort of a noise, or he's triggered with some colorful pictures, or he's triggered by something. Either his voice is elevated, he's screaming all over the place, he's whining, his brow is lifted, his eyes are widely spaced, his heart is pacing very fast, he's already fidgety, moving, running, kicking. He avoids eye-to-eye contact and is unable to focus and is repeatedly moving and wanting some sort of an activity. So we need to notice this more in our kids. They need to go out, they need to play outdoors, they need to reach out to other kids, to talk to other kids. They cannot be penned and in a house or within the four walls. They need to reach out to people, they need to socialize. Or is your child having a sensory processing issues? We need to identify that too. So there can be any triggers, like how we get triggered in our emotions and feelings. They too get triggered, maybe by sound, by emotion. We need to identify that. To identify that, we need to be aware of that. Once we are aware of that, we need to accept that my child is having this problem and I need to help him out. So what actions are we going to take? We'll only take the actions once we know what to do or we know what the strategies are. If you're not aware of it, he's a child, he'll outgrow it. No, they will not outgrow it. They will carry the same trauma, the same emotions, the same feelings, the same feeling state into their adult life. And there they will not be able to cope with themselves. They will not be able to cope with their situations or circumstances which life will throw at them. They will be stressed out. So we need to reach out to them, reach out earliest. We can reach out earliest only if we are aware of what these symptoms or these, and by observing them in their actions, in their movements, in their behaviors, and not just label them as an ADHD or an autistic child or a neurodivergent child. Yes, there are labels, but we need to reach out. And last, these are the stage of hyper-alertness to hyper-alertness, and then the child is emotionally flooded, fully aggressive, completely overwhelmed with emotions. He does not know how to express, how to regulate, and how to behave in front of other children. He is unable to even process his thoughts. There's a barrier between his mind and his body. He does not know what is happening. He's just fidgeting or hitting, he's screaming. There is intense emotions which are thrown either at you, either at another child, at the teacher in school. So before the child reaches this stage, we need to identify, we need to be aware of that first. And then after all this the body emotions like clenched jaws, you cannot process things, screaming, hitting, breaking toys or breaking things around. And the child is uncontrollable at that point. What can we do at that point? We just need to sometimes you just need to just be there for the child, but not even speaking to the child. Just be there in the room till they calm down. You can tell the child, I'm here for you. When you calm down, when you feel free, when you feel calm, when you want to talk to somebody, I'm always there for you. If he doesn't want you in the room, you can always reach out to me. You can tell the child, you can reach out to me, I'm here, I'm in the house. But we need to make the child aware that we are there for him. And once the child is calm, and speak to the child. Don't speak to the child when the child is emotionally flooded and you get all your blows and punches are punched at you. That's not the time. Let the child calm down. Let you yourself calm down. Hit the stop and pause button. And then proceed. Then talk to the child that we did not like this behavior of yours. What was the problem? How can we help you out? How can we reach out to you? And in the following videos, I will be reaching out to you all and helping you all to strategize and come up with solutions to help your children to be emotionally calm. Now, what happens when a tween is dysregulated? There'll be frequent emotional outbursts. They normally lock themselves in a room. They don't want to talk to anybody. Do we need to reach out to them at the earliest? Yes, we do. But once we help them out, once they are young, between the age of 3 to 6 to 3 to 10, and help them to express their emotions, help them and make them feel secure and safe that you are there for them. You can always come to me. You have my shoulders and my hand to reach out to whenever you are low, feeling low. You don't know what is happening to you, because suddenly there is a burst of emotions when they reach the tweens. Either it's their hormones or it is they do not know how to cope with the situation. There's so much of stress, there's peer pressure, and there is family principles, family rules which need to be followed. So we need to reach out to them. They are also human beings. They are our children. They tend to avoid others, anxious thoughts. We also need to teach them how to train their thoughts, how to cope up with these negative thoughts, and not have that negativity about them that I cannot do anything, because that will then push them off the edge, and we do not want that to happen to our kids. Okay, we need them to be calm, then we need them to be feeling secure, and we need them to survive and thrive and not give up in life. We need to help them change their behaviors. And we too need to regulate ourselves. How can we not regulate ourselves once we are regulated, we can reach out to others. So we too need to stop, pause, think, and then speak. We too suffer from our anxieties, our problems. We too get angry. We are humans after all. We are also fagged out with a number of lists of activities and chores and things that need to be done. We too get upset. Even our hormones keep fluctuating. So we too have to reach out to ourselves. Self-care is very important. We need to calm ourselves down before we can reach out to others. So what do we do as parents? We need to practice regulation activities day in and day out, 24/7. And it should be like our trump card or something, an activity right behind our, at a flip of a finger or a flip of, we need to regulate ourselves every minute and every second of the day. So we need to notice what our triggers are, what our states are, our body language, what is our body conveying. Some days we are fatigued, we are tired, we are drained out. We need to accept that. We need to slow down. We need to accept our behavioral changes, our mood swings, our hormones which play a wreck in our lives. We need to control that. We need to calm down. We need to we need to increase our oxytocin, our daily dose of happiness. If you have watched my previous videos, we need to socialize. We need to come in contact with people. We need to build up on that oxytocin, our loving hormones. Okay, we need to reach out to ourselves first and practice. Keep on practicing day in and day out. I know it's tough. We have endless jobs to complete, but we need to finish helping. First, reach out to ourselves, and then only we can observe the clues in our children. What is their body language? By being aware of things, we need to set in limits. We need to set in boundaries. How do we do that? Don't worry, we will help you out at IXC for Life to help you plan your strategies, how to cope with your children, how to deal with your children's emotions, and how to build in the structured support and offer a safe, calming place for your child, be it your home, be it once you're shopping. We need to strategize. We need to plan ahead and expect the worst, especially with children, because we do not know what's happening in their mind. We need to plan ahead. We need to be ready. On your mark, get set, go anytime. We as parents need our pack of cards or our solutions at the tip of our fingers. Don't worry, we are around always to help you, to lend a helping hand and help you walk through your parenting journey. In case you need to reach out to us, you can always reach out to us on our WhatsApp number. We'll be regularly posting this win-win series of videos which will help you increase your insights and help you be aware of what is happening and understanding your child's behavior, which is more important, and helping them express their emotions. You can also reach out to our website and email us and mail us in case you all have any queries or anything. We are always there to help you. Goodbye. Stay in tune for the upcoming videos. Hope these videos were helpful. Happy collaborating with your kids and happy win-wins. See ya.